Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to teach you my strategy for choosing a niche and a market that is going to give me a 90% chance that it's going to rank very quickly and that you're going to be able to monetize it as fast as possible, still with the organic SEO method and having nothing to do with ads. I'm not against ads if it can be done profitably, but by far the most profitable way to do this is with organic SEO. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a SEMrush account. So SEMrush, it can be kind of expensive, but there's all sorts of SEO group tools and different things like that out there that I use where I get a bundle of tools for very cheap. And so that's the first thing that you're going to need, because what we're going to be using is called the Keyword Magic tool. So for those of you watching who have maybe been doing SEO for a while, you totally know what this means. And for those of you who don't, basically when you log into the dashboard, on the left-hand column, there's going to be a button that says Keyword Magic Tool, okay? And what this is gonna allow us to do is it's gonna allow us to do very thorough keyword research, okay? And so the first thing that you're gonna do when you get into the Keyword Magic Tool is you're going to type in what's called a broad match keyword, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose one of the two, either the niche or the market city, okay? So as an example, let's say I wanted to go after tree service. I would type in just the word tree service, okay? Let's say I wanted to go after a market. Let's call it Richland, Washington, which is where I live, right? I could type that in as a keyword. I don't want to type in when I'm doing my before I'm doing my due diligence. I don't want to type in like the city and the niche together, because I'm not going to get the data that I'm looking for. I want it to be as broad as possible, okay? So that's what you're going to do first, is you're going to go into SEMrush, go into the Keyword Magic tool, and you're going to type in a niche so that you can find an idea of where to start building your digital real estate sites, right? So let's take, for example, tree service. So I go into SEMrush, I type in tree service, okay? And it's going to pull up a huge broad match list of all the different keywords that have tree service in it. You're probably going to get thousands, if not tens of thousands of options, because it's going to pull in all the different variations that it can scrape relatively quickly, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to organize this list and you're going to sort it by the keyword difficulty percentage, okay? So what this means is this, like the keyword difficulty percentage is a score that SEMrush gives that keyword, and basically it's saying, you know, how difficult is it going to be to rank for this organically in the top 10 search results? And we're going to give it a percentage. So if you were looking up, for example, personal injury lawyer Las Vegas, which is the joke I always make all the time, that's going to be super difficult. That's going to have a KD percentage, a keyword difficulty percentage in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, or I don't even know what it is. It's going to be very, very difficult. And what we're shooting for is we're shooting for 15 and below. Ideally, we're looking for keywords that are 5 and below, but I would venture, even if you're a beginner, you can go up to 15. It's just I usually use this as a starting point, and I usually use it to kind of set my expectations in my head as far as how difficult it's going to be to rank a site for that, you know, particular keyword phrase, okay? So now we're sorting it from low to high on the keyword difficulty, okay? So we're gonna start with all the zeros, and it's gonna go down to 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and it's gonna go from, you know, low to high on the keyword difficulty. So then what I'm doing is I am scrolling through and keeping my eye on the left-hand column, which is showing me all the keyword phrases, and then there's also a column that shows search volume. So step number 4 here is we wanna find keywords with a decent amount of search volume, okay? Now, you're gonna get all sorts of different keywords. You're gonna get navigational keywords, which are, you know, when somebody has the word tree service in their title of their name, and the point of a navigational keyword is like, let's say I've got a company called Bob's Tree Service. Well, if a bunch of people know who Bob's Tree Service is, wherever Bob's Tree Service is located, and they go to the search bar and they type in Bob's Tree Service, that means that Google knows that they are trying to navigate to Bob's Tree Service's website. That's what's called a navigational keyword. We don't want to spend any time on there as far as our main keyword phrase. There's other ways that you can show up for competitors' keywords, but I won't go into that now. That's a story for a different time. But basically, what we're doing is we're looking for commercial or transactional intent. And SEMrush does a good job of kind of telling you what they think the intent of the keyword is. They're not always right, but they're pretty good at identifying it. So you want to look for commercial and transactional keywords. Okay, and so a big thing here is that here's kind of a general rule for these keywords that you're looking at. So you're sorting it from low to high on the keyword difficulty. You're looking and scrolling through and looking at the search volume, and you just want to find decent search volume. There's a lot of people who do this business model that think you have to have, a ton of search volume in order to be successful at this. That's not the case. I have plenty of sites that I've ranked or keywords that I've ranked that SEMrush or Google Keyword Planner tells me that there's zero search for. And guess what? They get plenty of calls. They get plenty of leads every single month. And there's a bunch of reasons on why that is. But there's so many people that say, oh, I can only go into something if it's got 100 search volume or minimum or whatever, right? I mean, yes, in an ideal world, that would be great. But at the same time, you're going to be ranking your sites for so many different keywords that even if each of them has, 2 search volume a month, but you're ranking for 60 keywords, well, there's 120 searches a month right there across all your keywords, right? So keep that in mind as you're searching, because a lot of people get really hung up on that. And that's when you start hearing the things like, oh, this business model's too saturated, and oh, there's no, whatever. I mean, you go read some of the comments of some of my past YouTube videos and you get a bunch of jokers in there talking about how this business model's saturated. If you guys think that, that's totally fine. I'll go ahead and take all the low-hanging fruit and make a ton of money. But I'm telling you, there's so much opportunity out there. There's another video on my channel about niching down, and that opens up, literally millions of other opportunities for all of us, still perfectly easy to rank for. So anyways, so the rule is that we have to have a state identifier on our commercial keyword. So for example, in this example of tree service, you're going to be scrolling through and you're going to see a commercial keyword, and it's going to say tree service. Well, let's use Richland as an example. So there are multiple cities named Richland in the United States. Okay. So if I saw the keyword that said tree service Richland, and I saw that the search volume had 100 searches or 90 searches or 300 searches, whatever it is, keep in mind that there's no state identifier on there. There's no Washington, right? Well, I live in Richland, Washington. There's a Richland, Oregon. There's like all sorts of Richlands. That's the only 2 that I really know of, but I think there's like 5 or 6 of them in the United States. So that means that anybody in those 5 or 6 cities that type in tree service Richland and don't add a state identifier on there, it's going to count as a search in the search results, obviously. But that's not good for us to know exactly in our due diligence process to give us a really good idea of if that exact locality is going to be a good place to go search for. Now, if I am scrolling through those keywords and I see in the bar that a commercial keyword says tree service Richland, WA, or Washington, right? Then that now tells me that, okay, that's a go, and I'm gonna take that into account, and I would more than likely click on that and kind of do some discovery on who the top competitors that are pulling up in the SERPs are for that and everything like that. And so starting out your due diligence process that way, I mean, I would not end it there. I wouldn't just go build a site just based off of keyword difficulty alone. I still go through my 14, 15 points of data that I look at for my due diligence process. But regardless, that gets you an amazing starting point. And I would say by using this method, you can shortcut the amount of time that it takes for you to basically find winning niches and winning marketplaces. I know it's like the biggest thing in this model that everybody has questions about. So hopefully that kind of clears things up. And if you're looking for, additional advice, if you're looking for additional training on any of this material, I go much more in depth on all of this stuff inside our free Facebook group. And so if you're not a part of that yet, then make sure and click the link somewhere around here, whether it's in the comments or whether it's in the description, wherever you're watching this video. Make sure and click that link and join our Facebook group, because you're going to get resources, you're going to get free live trainings every week, you're going to get all sorts of stuff that's going to allow you to be able to further your knowledge on this business model and actually turn it into something that can work for you, like I, along with tons of others, have done to be able to leverage out of a job. Maybe if you don't want to have a job, maybe just to make a few hundred or a few thousand extra dollars each month. Whatever your goals are, whatever you're looking for, whatever you want out of this business model, we can help you get there. Just join our Facebook group, and you're going to be well on your way to being it if you continue. I mean, I can give you all the free information in the world, but unless you don't implement it, unless you don't act on it, it's not going to be worth anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments below. But literally just follow this 4-step process, and I promise you, you're going to find great niches and markets where there is a ton of opportunity, and you're going to be able to essentially rank faster and start making money faster while not having to spend a bunch of money on trying to get ads off the ground. So anyways, I hope you guys like this, and I'll see you guys in our next video.